Le marché français de l'assurance des risques est largement capacitaire et la campagne 2015 montre qu'il y a une pression sur les tarifs à la baisse. Mais qu'en est-il au niveau européen? Pour en parler, nous sommes allés à la rencontre de Richard Price, CEO European Operation de QBE. Richard Price, good afternoon. First of all, can you give us some trends about QBE results in 2014 and 2015?
Yes, thank you for inviting me today. I'm really pleased because 2014 for our European businesses has been a very good year. We haven't disclosed our results yet, but the early signs are that we've had a record year in continental Europe, and here in France had an extremely good year. Profit and some growth as well. Obviously growth is slightly difficult in the economic environment, but our profitability's held up well, and importantly we're building out our products and services for our customers. For 2015 we feel it's going to be a challenging year. We think the environment is going to be difficult, and there will be pressure on pricing. Having said that, we're confidently building out our capability. We've just opened an office in Bordeaux, and importantly in France we see the importance of having local offices throughout France and not just being in Paris. So whilst we believe it will be a difficult year and there'll be quite a lot of economic headwinds, we also believe that for us we're well positioned to carry on our profitable growth.
You've said pressures on tariffs.
Yeah.
How is the European market considering tariffs and capacity on risks?
Pricing and tariffs, there's some reduction, but it's slight. I think capacity is still, there's a lot of capacity, and there's a lot of local carriers and global carriers who still have good appetite to offer capacity on all types of risks throughout Europe. I think interestingly though, what you see is there are areas where pricing and tariffs have gone up. For example, German property, medical liability in places like Italy. So the market isn't like tariffs and prices are reducing everywhere. There are areas where there have been losses and you'll see increasing in price.
Even on the cyber risk, which is a huge risk, there are capacities?
I think there's some capacity on cyber. You know, that's a really good question, because cyber in itself is a difficult risk to understand, and we offer this capability, but the important thing about cyber risk is you have to get very close to the customer and understand what the risk is. And the customer has to be prepared to share their analysis around their risk and how they manage the risk. And I think in those cases you can gradually build up capacity. So there is capacity. It's maybe not what the customers want, but I think with the right engagement between the right insurers and the right client, then you can start to build some cyber capacity.
Right. To conclude, what is the position of QBE France in QBE Europe? It is a little part of QBE Europe.
Well, if you look at continental Europe, France is our biggest office. We have the most people, we write the most premium. And then when you look at the whole of our European business, continental European business, it's about 30% of our overall European business that we run, so including the business we have in London for the UK and for Lloyd's. So we have a big operation here in France. We have a big reinsurance operation which is in Brussels, and also a good size operation in Italy, and growing operations in France and Spain and the Nordics. In Italy and Spain and the Nordics. So it's a smaller part, but it's growing more than the London part, because that's what we're investing quite heavily in the opportunity in and around Europe.
Thank you, Richard Price. Quant à vous, je vous retrouve pour de nouvelles vidéos au cœur de l'Amrae sur News Assurance Pro.